Hey, thanks for joining me. This is Nancy the Handy Scandy here with This Calls for Confetti. I am in the midst of making a series of cards using the Arched Lattice Circles die and the Windowscapes die and stencil bundle. I'm likely just going to be using the die, but I reserve all rights to use whatever I choose to use in this creative process. So I thank you for joining me. I have a bit of a game plan already. I've selected one of each of these ephemera packs, and I want to make a series of cards. So this is Halloween's Past Windowscapes Ephemera pack. This one is Autumn Windowscapes Ephemera pack, and this one is the Haunted Destinations Windowscapes Ephemera pack. And so I have already die cut out the window frames, and I have selected which ephemera piece is going to get which frame, and I have card bases, and yes, I am ready to jump in. Now again, I reserve all rights to change directions as I go. That is my creative process. I do have a direction, which is kind of unusual for me. So I thank you for joining me. I'm glad you're here. And most of this will likely be set to music as I just figure out what I'm going to do. I have also die cut already a few of the Arched Lattice Circles die cuts. And I'm going to be doing some different things with them. I'll be doing some different things with the window frames and the backgrounds. But I also have out in front of me, hoping to use, but we'll see, the Candy Bucket Metal Craft die. Autumn Accents dies. Those are super cute. I also have I think this is called Don't Yuck My Yum. Halloween Cut Apart Sentiment Strips. I always call it the Don't Yuck My Yum set. But I also have out What Lies Beneath, because I'm thinking I might want to make one of my backgrounds this wood grain. I have the Brick Stencil, which I'm going to be playing with using my different pastes. I also have out the Crypt Grit Paste. And then I also have out my Wicked Webs dies, because I thought maybe some spooky spiders and or webs might be fun. And then I also have a couple pattern paper packs. This one is called Boo, and this one is Elusive Prints. So I have all of this out, and these are the things that I hope to pull from. I may go different direction and choose other things from This Calls for Confetti's line, but for now I am going to set this to music and we'll just kind of watch the process. Okay, so thank you for staying with me this far. I know it's been a lot. You've seen most of my process, but I actually stopped the video because there was still a lot more to see. So I just thought I would come in and do a quick review of the cards that I ended up making. I started out very, very basic, And so these were my first 3 cards. It's just the window frame, the ephemera, and simple additions like the pumpkin and the leaves and the branch. And I actually used fall leaves to die cut these leaves. I don't know if you can necessarily see that detail. And then these two, of course, Haunted Destinations and Halloween's Past. This is the Haunted Destinations, this is the Halloween's Past. And then I use the Ghosty dies from the Boo set, and the Boo also is from that set. So very simple. But then I went from very basic and I stepped it up just a little bit by adding the crypt paste through the brick stencil. And then I added some more of the different imagery with the leaves and the black cat and the witch's hat. And on these two, I added the brick stenciling to the window frame and the wall panels behind. And this one is just to the panel behind. But also these are lifted up with double-sided foam tape. So that's how these were stepped up, and I love them just as much as the others. And then I had to make a shaker card. So this one stepped up even further. This is where I used that What Lies Beneath wood grain die, and I did just some ink blending and stuff to zhuzh those up. And I created the shaker wells. Then I added some raffia and some branches and some moss, as well as some different shaker bits inside. And I think this one turned out really cute. I think this would be a great Thanksgiving card. And then here I've stepped this one up as well. Now you will have noticed that this is the one that I ink blended the brick background on, and I added these, the leafies. But then I went back and I used my cheesecloth that I have coffee dyed, and I added it as basically a curtain kind of blowing in the breeze, and I used a little piece of raffia to tie that back. But that's how that one got stepped up. And then this one might well be my favorite. So on this one I was taking a cue from Liz's playbook. Now Liz is a design team member for This Calls for Confetti, and I love the way that she used this die to create that beautiful like ironwork, like old, worn, broken down, creepy ironwork. And so I just made my version of that. I die cut the panel out of some holographic silver, and then I used some black distress paint to grub it up, and then I cut the whole thing in half, and then I cut a little bit, a fraction of an inch off of each side so that it would fit better on this frame. Then I created a little window ledge, sat the cat on there, added some more of the moss at the top and the bottom, added a little bat, and I just think that looks amazing. Love that card so much. And then these next two I bumped up even further. So I made a whole panel out of the What Lies Beneath wood grain dies. Again, zhuzhing them up with the ink blending and the splatter and all of that. And then I created another frame for another of the, what is it called? Not the Haunted Destinations. Halloween Past Windowscapes. And you can't really even see what it is, but you can see that I use these same wood panels to board up the window, and I have the different mossy bits, and I have the tattered old curtain hanging out the window, blowing in the breeze. Still has the tie back on it, more moss, more little spider webs, broken wooden planks, and a big old spider. And here I have Happy Halloween. And I just thought that that turned out so good. I really, really am happy with that. And then here, this one, I've taken that same shutter design or shutter idea and made my shutters open on this particular window. And you can see that I die cut my window frame out of some sparkle cardstock, and the spiders are also out of that sparkle cardstock. And here I have the larger spider webs versus the smaller ones on this window. Have my shutter panels open, and again, these are meant to be like an old wrought iron grate, right? And then more curtain panels flapping in the breeze. I added another window box down here, and I have different pumpkins die cut out of actual leaves again. And then I've added a little stem right here to be like a dead tree, and some more of the moss, and I just think it turned out so cool. You can see on this background, I turned my stencil sideways and I created a different orientation, if you will, of the brick wall behind, and I just think it's turned out so good. Now, I don't have anything on the insides or the backs of any of these, but I just wanted to do a quick little walkthrough so you could see all of the finished cards in this whole series, and it turned out to be quite a lot, and it took me a lot of time to do this, a lot of hours, but you know, you create, you know how long it can take. But I just wanted to spend a few more minutes sharing these with you and thanking you for spending this time with me. Again, this is Nancy the Handy Scandy for This Calls for Confetti, and until next time, mwah, I'm out.